Hello, welcome to Brewskis and Housekeys. I am Nicole Kostelecki.
And I'm Nick Papantanakis.
And we're here with Remax Alliance in Old Town Arvada. How's it going, Nick?
I mean, it's a very big day, I would say, considering that, we're hitting a milestone. We'll get to that on this podcast because it's a big deal, but overall, it's pretty darn good.
It has been a good day.
I would say.
It's very hot out.
It's, that's never the best, especially as we get further into the summer. It gets really old, but, it's okay. All things considered, still quite lovely. And we're in Old Town Arvada. There's a ton of foot traffic still because it's not quite back to school time, but we're getting close.
Yes.
And so, there's still a lot of people out and about doing their thing, which is always fun. But that back to school thing's right around the corner.
It is. Everyone's getting ready.
Yeah, and I feel like I think she's ready. She's very excited. When summer started, she was bummed, which I've never met a kid that is that way. I certainly wasn't that way. But, she loves her friends and loves school. So she was a little bit bummed, so she's very excited to get herself back to school, for sure.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
What else is new? Anything?
Other than just, playing in the real estate market, you and I get to, kind of go back and forth on all the things that are going on. We, helping folks out as far as selling their places and getting out there with buyers. It's, I don't know, business as usual. How
yes,
about that?
Exactly.
How about that?
Exactly.
Which is a good thing to say. So let's talk a little bit about this milestone because Brewskis and Housekeys.
Yes, so today is our 10th episode. So we decided to do something a little bit different. We visited a couple sites, a couple new builds. And so because of that, the brewery that we chose today is right in between the two new builds that we are going to talk about. So it's Luki Brewery. It's located off of 64th and Indiana.
Yeah, and it's right in that shopping center. I think there's a Jiffy Lube in there or a Grease Monkey or something like that. Big O, thank you. That's what it is. And
there's a church in there. There's
yeah.
A few other places.
But it's relatively new. They opened not that long ago, right?
I want to say a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And it's right on the corner. It actually has a nice little patio. If you want to sit out there, you can still see some views of the sunset if you'd like.
If you're an Arvada person and you haven't been over there lately, it's where the Quiznos used to be.
There you go.
Does that help?
Ding,
I don't know if
ding.
that helps at all, but
yeah.
But and it is fun to be able to talk about their beer and talk about these new builds, and go do something that we haven't done before. So hopefully you guys get to enjoy it. And I do want to give a quick disclaimer that if you are just podcast listeners, highly suggest that you go check out the video side of this, because we do full-on video tours that we'll talk about a little bit later. So you can actually check out and do tours of these homes. They'll be on our YouTube page, so please check them out.
Mm-hmm. So what are you drinking?
So this is the Monkey Business. It is an amber IPA, something that's a little bit unique, I would say. It's definitely got a very good balance between maltiness and hoppiness. Ambers traditionally have that little bit more of that maltiness to them. Yeah. And so I like this because it's not crazy skewed to one side or the other. Drinkable, dangerous at 6%. So I like that as well. Makes it tasty. I don't think drinking a full one of these is advised in one sitting. But
yeah, we're sharing. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's not. This isn't all me. I promise. Yeah. How about you? What do you got there?
I have the Calliope. Did I say that right?
Nailed it. Nailed
Kolsch.
it.
I keep wanting to say Calliope.
Calliope. For context, prior to recording, we may have brought up 25 different ways to say Calliope. Calliope, which was one of my favorites. And I think I just emphasized the ope as in like
Calliope. Calliope.
Perfect.
Okay.
You nailed it. Nicole's the only one who gets it right. That's why we gave it to her.
So this is a Kolsch. It's a pretty dry Kolsch, and it is like kind of a German style, I would say. Has some hints of pear in there.
Kolsch is tasty on a day like today. They're light.
They are.
It's hot out. Light. And I know
but
we keep
saying
saying that.
But it's still full-bodied, I feel.
Yeah.
So, which is good.
It's tasty beer.
It is. Indeed.
Good job, Luki. I approve. Go ahead if you want to talk a little bit about there.
Oh, I was just going to say it's kind of cool in there because it's like a circus theme.
Yeah.
So they have some funky mirrors, I know, in one spot as you're walking to the bathrooms, I think. And then they have like a tent-looking ceiling. It's cool. I would go check it out.
Yeah, and it's just a little kind of local spot, so they definitely have some really good stuff, and they do a lot of little events, sip and paint or sip and stitch and that kind of stuff.
Do they?
So yeah, every month they've got like one sip and paint. They've got live music in there a couple times a month, so definitely a really cool little kind of neighborhood spot to check out for sure.
That'd be fun. Okay. Cool.
Speaking of neighborhoods.
Speaking of neighborhoods, so we are going to dive into the topic, and we are talking about new builds today. So really an interesting topic. Sometimes people don't realize that as agents, we also help our clients to purchase new build homes. So it's not just always resale. We also help with the new builds and make sure that we're advocates for our clients and, make sure they're happy with the whole process. So for new builds, there's a lot of different builders out there. There's different ways that it can, your transaction can happen as far as timing or specs or models, all that sort of stuff. So, Nick, what would you say are some pros to picking a new build and going down that path?
There's quite a few. The opportunity to get something that no one's ever lived in, it depends on what the individual wants or what the family wants. Every buyer is going to be different. If that is a route they want to go, that's a great option to have. You're the first person in that door, and you get to watch it happen from start to finish. A lot of builders are big on customizing, so they allow you to pick all your finishes from your countertops to your layout to if the basement is finished or not to any number of different aspects of it, and I think that's a big deal. Most builders will have their different builds, their project layouts, and whatever it is. If it's 4 different models of this style and 4 different models of that style, which we saw in one of the ones we saw out at Candelas,
right.
I think that's a big deal too because it gives people that sense of, I want this to be my home and I'm customizing it. So it's pretty cool if they get the chance to go to the design center and do that.
Very true. It is important to point out, so you have the different model types that you can choose from. So the new builds are different from, say, a completely custom home. But I think that almost makes it easier because you already know what your model is going to be.
Well, yeah, because not everybody's an engineer, right? They can't think about I want this laid out this way for this reason and because of all the different pieces of, why I would do it. It's nice to have a little of that guesswork taken out of it for you. I agree completely. That's one of the big parts of it. One of the other big parts that I love, and we saw this with, I think, both of the new builds we toured for this episode, was that there are obviously all brand new systems, your furnace, your water heater, your all the different aspects of it. And a lot of them are the latest energy efficient types of those different systems. So even
low
down to the
energy
insulation.
bills,
Yeah. So you're talking real efficient homes, which is a really big piece of it too. So I know that's those are some serious highlights, especially things that we learned while we were on these tours. There's obviously goods and bads to the resale side. There's also goods and bads to new builds. So how about some cons, some things that maybe be drawbacks?
So I'd say the main one is just timing. So it does take longer to wait for your house to be built, right? As opposed to just buying a house that's already been built. So this can be, and you'll see in our video, some of them, if they have specs already made, they can take 5 months or so. But sometimes it's more likely about a year up to 15 months. So it takes a little bit longer and you have to kind of wait through that whole process. But that can work for some people if they have the time, and are seeing where they're moving and.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people maybe assume that if they go down the road of a new build, they kind of think about, well, I know it might take time. So
right, exactly.
I think that is a piece of it for sure.
Yeah. Another thing is, nowadays, especially in the Denver metro area, they all do tend to look the same. So where it's one benefit where you can just pick a model, they still all look the same. It feels like you're kind of in a cookie cutter neighborhood, which some people like, some people don't. It's just up to your choice. And then the yards tend to be a little bit smaller, which again is less work, but you might actually want a bigger yard.
Yeah, and that's completely up to the individual, what they're looking for too.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
They do have like higher property taxes, so that's one thing that's a con, I would say. And sometimes customizing all the specs can get to be a little overwhelming.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can relate if you've done like a remodel of your kitchen. It's just, how do you pick every single thing? So then if you take that to a whole new level with a whole house, it can be overwhelming.
It definitely can be. It would definitely have to be a full commitment, mentally and emotionally from whoever's buying that home. That like we know we're in, and we know we got to do all this work now on the front end to see it come to fruition. So it's a lot. It is a lot for sure. I agree with that. And I think one of the pieces we took away from our time doing this and just talking about new builds a lot is, no matter what, pros, cons, whatever it is, no matter where you're looking, it's really important to do the research on that individual project, that individual builder, and know the reputation of that builder, along with what it is that you're getting into with them, and that.
Correct. What kind of contract you're entering in, how long it's going to take, getting a good idea and a good feel for what the whole process is going to look like beforehand, before you sign.
Absolutely. And that's one more reason why, and this is not just a shameless plug for Nicole and I, it's definitely more of just an honest advice thing. If you don't have an agent and you are planning on going and doing that, it can't hurt. In fact, we encourage you to have someone that's advocating for you, the buyer, as you go into that process. More or less, it's just because we want to make sure that you are taken care of and you understand what you're going through there. Not that they would try to swindle you, not that they would try and do anything that is dishonest, more that it's just important to have that person in your corner.
Yeah, yep, exactly. And so take their card with you on that first appointment, or take your agent with you. Either or, I'm sure anyone would be happy to go with you.
Definitely. So as we said, we did do something a little different. So we're going to share some clips of tours we did, which is pretty fun, which is why the video component is so important this episode. Yeah. So we're going to share those with you guys and kind of recap them. So
where was the first one we went, Nick?
First one was called Candelas Villas. It's out off of like 70...
No, it's like 88th.
88th in Indiana. It's a KB Homes project within the Candelas community out there, and they're paired homes, and they've got a lot of cool features. So we'll share that video with you guys right now. Enjoy.
Hello, we are here at Candelas Villas over in Arvada, just off of Indiana. Just a little bit about them. So it is KB Homes is the developer, and there's 98 units here. So far they've had 64 sold, so they still have some lots that are available. They have both ranch and two-story paired homes, and there's 4 different plans for each. So 4 different plans for the ranch and 4 for the two-story, and they are starting in the 600s.
Yeah, and we got a really fun tour of the ranch that we're going to take you guys on, just to show you one of the layouts, and it's just a really beautiful setting. I mean, you can see Stanley Lake behind me. There's a lot of access through the Candelas Villas. You have the minimal HOA payment every month of $76, which gets you access to the tennis courts, the basketball courts, the pool, the clubhouse, and then some trails and parks as well. Also includes your trash removal, your snow removal, and the maintenance on your front yard. So it's a really cool project to check out.
Let's go see.
The nice thing about new builds, they're like almost 100% customizable. I think that's pretty rad. They were talking to us about that during the tour we did. So there's a lot of stuff that's in here that's fancy, but you can kind of make it your own.
Yeah, nice open layout for the kitchen and then into the living room area. I personally love these walls.
I know, it's a really good accent touch to have that, just that little bit of...
What are they called again?
I don't know.
Board and batten.
Board and batten.
There we go. See, this is one more reason why Nico's here. One more reason. I would take this kitchen just for myself. That would be nice. Even if I didn't cook as much as we do, this would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the layout. I love the cooktop, double oven. I mean, it's a big space.
It is. And then this unit is 3 beds, 2.5 bath.
2.5, yeah, or 2 3/4.
And then
like that.
office as well. So here's the office. Nice and bright. Master over this way.
See, and we talked about finishes in one of our episodes, about the idea of what do you look for when you go into a showing. And finishes, we talked about, some of the different looks and ideas. But that's the nice thing about the new build, too, is that it's kind of that a customizable finish. I think they've done a good job with the color, the tones, the tile, the floor choices, that kind of stuff. I just think it's very clean, but doesn't feel stale, if that makes sense. So I think that's nice.
Okay.
I love this wall tile in the bathroom. You may not be able to see it, but it's kind of like ripply. Big fan. Big fan.
And laundry room on the main floor is really nice too.
Yeah, and we're touring the ranch. There's a 2-story version as well. They have a 2-story build and a ranch build. Most of the 2 stories have those walkout basements. So the square footage on those is bigger, but I mean, they're good looking. Not a bad view of Stanley Lake. Goodness gracious. Just don't build anything next door to me. That's all I want. That view right there.
There's a corner lot still available.
Oh,
Yes.
see? Nicole dropping nuggets.
Yeah. Check out the patio.
If you want to see live building in action, it's happening out there right now as we speak. This is how you know.
That could be your house. Well, maybe not that one, but.
And these would have those views because they're the 2 stories. They're up a little bit higher on the hill. Gosh.
Minimal maintenance on the backyard.
And that's really the only
Which is a
responsibility of the
plus for
homeowners. What I understood is that, the HOA will cover that side yard and front yard maintenance. Your responsibility is just the backyard. So, But I bet you they have options. I bet you they're flexible on that too.
So check out downstairs.
Let's go to the basement. Good idea. So this one features a partially finished basement. I think you've got a lot of flexibility there too with whichever model and plan you design. Those base prices would, be where you start from with an unfinished basement, I think. And then as you finish it out, that's when you can see those changes in your price.
Correct.
But more of that board and batten wall. So I learned that today. But I like that accent too, especially with the angled pieces.
Yeah.
Are you a good foosball player?
Not bad.
I am terrible. It's like my least favorite of all the bar games.
You like pool better?
I'm bad at that too. Darts, I'm good. Shuffleboard, I'm okay, But no, I can't. I'm not as good at that. I love this space.
You have to keep one hand on the goalie at all times.
That's
key.
See, maybe that's where I'm messing up. I like this space. It's so inviting. I want to sit down. I want to watch a game.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
sounds nice to me right now.
Little mini bar.
Watch Russell Wilson throw a few touchdowns, no big deal. So one more bedroom down here in the finished portion. This is a partially finished basement. The nice thing is the basement has basically the same footprint as upstairs, so you get all that square footage down here as well.
Correct. And they said they use high-end energy efficient furnaces as well.
Saving you on that energy bill.
Yes. So this is that unfinished space that you could potentially add more if you wanted.
These ceilings are so high.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. I mean, a basement, you get, maybe 8-foot ceilings. Even to this beam would be at least, I'm 6'2". That's 10 feet.
That's a very good point.
So, that's a lot of extra space. And you could guaranteed have at least one more bedroom down here. I don't know about in the bathroom. I don't see the stubs. Is there one over there? Maybe.
Not sure.
But
that's the beauty of new builds.
that's true.
So you
It's
get
true.
to kind of take a look beforehand and customize it.
Absolutely. Well played, KB Homes. It's nice.
So that kind of finishes up our tour here at Candelas Villas. Thanks for joining us.
Don't forget, they still have units for sale. It's not a crazy sold out thing. So make sure that you're talking with us if a new build is in your future, for sure. So really cool. I mean, love being able to tour that place. I love how customizable those homes are out there. Those paired homes are awesome. And that HOA gets you a lot for the money. I think that's pretty incredible. So that was tour number 1. Tour number 2.
So tour number 2 is SaBell, and that is built by Meritage Homes. So yeah, check out the clip. Hello, we are at SaBell, which is built by Meritage Homes. And it is a unit it's also in Arvada, really close to 58th and Ward Road, basically. Just a little bit about the development. There are 145 sites. They are townhomes, and they still have 43 left to sell. And then there's 3 different designs. So we're gonna tour the Crestone, which is the largest. The other 2 are Belford and Cameron, but this Crestone is 4-bed, 3.5 baths, and has about 2,200 square feet.
Some of the unique features of this development of this project are, like Nicole said, they're townhomes, so they all they are attached. There is no HOA. There are party wall agreements, so that would kind of act in place of that HOA, but that means no HOA fees. There is a kind of $30 cost that you can pay as a homeowner to have the snow removal and grounds maintenance done. There is no grounds maintenance for you, the homeowner, to do in this project, which is awesome. We're also situated kind of at a really great point in Arvada where you can access Golden, Old Town, and the highway really easily. So it kind of sits at a really nice little nexus. A great opportunity for a new homeowner.
Yeah, and real quick, as far as price goes, the lowest is at about $575, and then the base for the other ones, the bigger units, is about $630 and can go up to $670.
So let's go inside and check out the layout.
So you kind of walk in, the garage would be through this way. And then over here we have a little office or a bedroom.
So these are kind of a unique layout where they're 4 stories, and you have, one of the things they boasted was you have that full bathroom on almost every story, which is pretty cool. So as you walk in, you have kind of your entryway, right? Mm-hmm. And it's either a bedroom or an office right there with that bathroom. And then attached 2-car garages on every unit. I mean, that's pretty cool too. Unique to townhome layout for sure. Love the big closets.
Mm-hmm. And a nice little entryway closet too, just to store your shoes.
Oh man. This is a large living space.
Yes, very nice.
I know I mentioned kitchens, but come on. I mean, you can entertain. You have room in here. This is coming from someone who has very little cabinet and counter space. This is like envy, a lot of envy going on here.
No kidding. And one nice thing too about SaBell, so they have 3 different designs. And so you don't go through and do the whole specs. They just have those 3 ones, and that's it.
Yeah, it's the customization is something that some people look for in new builds. There are new build projects out there that offer that. This one takes a lot of that stress out of it. You can just pick. You can pick which one makes the most sense for you. It's going to depend on the layout and the location. They were pretty specific about when we talked to them earlier in the sales office about what choices you do and don't have.
Yeah.
Little dining area.
Little patio.
One of the aspects that could stand out to somebody looking over here that might turn them off is the noise and the sound. And they've done some some build pieces to mitigate that. They've got that spray-in insulation foam, and it's really quiet in here. I mean, we don't have any exterior noise, and they're doing construction really close by on some of these newer builds. So that's impressive too.
Yep. Kitchen's very nice.
Huge living room
as well.
I love this. It just keeps going. A lot of natural light. I think that's a big deal.
And then up here, this will be basically all the bedrooms. So you have the living space on that the floor down, and now it's all the bedrooms. Laundry where the bedrooms are, which is always a plus.
Yeah, short trip, short commute. Full bath. Love that.
So full bath here to share between these two bedrooms.
I mean, I think, you know, given the build, I guess, layout, those are pretty decent sized bedrooms. I like that a lot. Primary bedroom has basically another bedroom in it just for your closet. It's gigantic. This is fantastic. More storage. I mean, I could live in the closet. That's not a commentary on anything.
I think that
it's
closet
big enough.
is probably the size of my bedroom. Anyways.
Seriously. I mean, it's huge. See how I fade out of camera?
Okay, my bedroom's a little bit bigger. But
tons of storage.
Yeah.
There's a shot of that sprayed in insulation. Helps with the efficiency too.
Yeah.
Keeping us at a balmy 73 degrees. I like it.
Now for the best surprise.
The best surprise. One of the things that the sales office did point out to us is that these are a very unique feature to these townhomes.
Especially in Arvada.
Especially in Arvada. And that would be the rooftop deck.
Nice.
Ready to entertain. Here we go. Look at that.
Great views of the mountains. You have Van Bibber Park over there. Definitely can host a good party up here.
Oh, yeah.
And have some brewskis.
They're already ready for us with the Moscow mules. But yeah, I think brewski would be better. It definitely would fit.
What do we got over here? Luki Brewery down there.
Luki Brewery is close by on 64th and Indiana.
Yep. And then in Old Town.
Or a stone's throw from Old Town. So that's got, you've got the opportunity
Denver
for
Beer
New Image.
Company, New Image.
Denver Beer Company.
All the things.
Elevated Seltzer. We don't give seltzers any shout outs on this normally, but why not do it? 'Cause they're
well,
delicious.
then there's a cidery too.
And there's a cidery? Come on.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, I mean, minutes from I-70. You can hop down 58th and make your way towards Golden. Old Town Arvada's 8 minutes away, less than. Definitely an opportunity here, especially with over 40 units still available. That's huge.
Yeah.
Pretty cool project.
All right. Well, thanks for touring SaBell with us with Meritage Homes. So
A lot of fun. We should go drink about this.
I think we should.
go drink about
I'm
this.
ready for a beer.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Awesome. Cheers. How about that rooftop deck, Nick? That was awesome.
Dude.
I loved that. The views that you had from up there, just to Van Bibber and then the mountains. And I know yesterday we had an amazing sunset. So I'm sure those homeowners really enjoyed it with some brewskis.
Oh, And it's private, too. I love that aspect of it. So fun episode, Thank you so much for everybody who listened to or watched this episode. Thank you to all those that have watched all 10 episodes. My gosh, that's a big milestone. So thank you guys. As always, big shout out to Luki Brewery. Please go check them out. They are located off 64th in Indiana, right there in that shopping center. Great place, great beer, great atmosphere. And as always, if there is anything about this week or any week that has struck you as exciting or entertaining, like us. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We love hearing your feedback as well, so give us those shout outs in the comments, whether it's on YouTube or on the podcast places. So thank you guys so much, and to at least 10 more.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Producer! Yeah, Nico!
Yeah.